Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art class series. So I do know in the last episode there was no audio, and the reason for that is I was recording audio, but apparently because I'm using Voicemeeter as like an audio between software thing, it basically handles like the way my audio sounds. It wasn't turned on, so I was talking to myself the full hour and a half. And it's sad because I did have quite I had some tips, I had some advice, and it was, even I was somewhat impressed with myself, but it wasn't recorded. My heart did sink a bit when I dragged the audio file to my Audacity software. It's an audio editing program. When I saw that blank line, or that straight line, meaning you can't even see one waveform, I knew I fucked up. So anyway, in the last episode, I think I worked on this and this. These are just some studies, right? We're gonna continue our session, and this time we're gonna talk, and you're gonna hear me talk, right? So anyway, we're gonna, maybe we'll spend bare minimum, we have to spend at least 30 minutes. I'm gonna aim for an hour again. So yeah, when it comes to this playlist, this series, it's more of a learn with me. Like, I think I mentioned this in the previous episode. It's not so much I'm trying to teach you, like I'm the professor, the teacher who's trying to give knowledge. I'm like in the classroom with you. So I'm more of a student than I am a teacher, but we can exchange or share ideas as we learn together. So I think right now I'm very interested in like characters. So I think I've been doing a lot of figure stuff lately. So stick with that because I do like how it's. I do have lots of references. I did feature this in the previous episode, but I have like real life stuff here, some artworks, and yeah, some AI, some fan art stuff, some other random shit. And basically this is what I'm seeing. Sorry, do this again. Basically, this is what I'm seeing in my other monitor. I think we're gonna go back to doing some figure stuff. And we'll study, break things down. What am I gonna use? I think I want to use a pencil this time. Because I feel like it's more fun. And sometimes it's like a mood thing. Sometimes I feel like using ink. Sometimes pencil seems to appeal to me more. Let me unlock this. How about 2B? We'll try a blue pencil or a blue color. Red. Down. You know what? A purple seems fine. We have like this torso, right? We're gonna build on top of this. We're gonna do like a study, right? So I think right now we're trying to do we're studying one of TB Choi's breakdowns, and I think she's trying to show how the boobs kind of in the body. Interesting, her shoulders are not that big. I think I often overdo it. Okay, not that big. Let's erase this. Actually, not that down. It does sag a bit. Doesn't look like she's wearing like a bra. You can imagine it as if there's like plates on her breasts, like armor almost. Then make it droop down just a bit. Canvas. Boom. And that's a lot of erasing actually, but you know, whatever. Not the best, but it can darken the edge here just a bit to add a bit of like shadow. Ugh, not good. Basically, this is what I'm referencing. Right? Just trying to describe the difference between the bubble balloon kind of breasts and the more natural types, meaning there's no like sports bra or anything. It's just, and it lays on top of the actual chest. Here the chest protrudes out a bit because there's like a decent amount of muscle in there, but even if it's not a video, you can learn a lot by just watching the actual like breakdown. Sure, it helps if you can see like a video in real time and a voice kind of explaining things. It may also be helpful to see like a time lapse, even without voiceovers. But even if it's like a basic image, like even if it's not even broken down, you can break things down yourself. And in your breaking down of that thing, you actually learn something that even if like the artist is not intentionally trying to teach you, like because you can break things down, you can kind of learn or take away something. Now, was this good? I don't know. I don't. We'll try this. So, rib cage. Let me just draw the full thing first. So, cage, and then boop, boop, heart, and because I want to see how she breaks down the bottom part, the pelvis area. A triangle, essentially. This is my own breakdown. Trying to get the vibes of it. Oh, sorry, excusez-moi. How rude of me. Okay. Interesting. Cylinder. And the shoulders, again, not too big. I have a habit of like overdoing it, kind of like that. Just add it like a baby shoulder. There you go. Even with this shoulder, look at how she still looks kind of athletic. Because you don't measure it just by the arms. It's like the full figure, actually. Oh my. Interesting. I've also noticed that for this part over here, like a line here, right? Like if this is the belly button, it kind of does this. Wait, I feel it. Is that a trapezoid? I forgot the actual name, but it's like. The point is, it kind of goes further out a bit. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I'm not explaining it right. Let me just drag this guy down. Like it's goes beyond. Like if this is the belly area, right? This is this the hips? Oh no, actually no, but like this is the waist, where the belly button is the waist, and then it goes beyond that, and that's where you get like the legs. Right? Getting it confused, but this is kind of what I see, what I notice. The point is, there's gonna be an area in the legs below the belly button where it like sticks out a bit. Is it part of the? I think it's the hips. But this area over here. Anyway, I'm so confused. Like sometimes I know it visually, but I just don't know the mechanics of it. But you get the point. You're gonna have to get the point. New page here. Let's lock this guy. Let's explore that concept. You know what? Before we proceed with other studies, let's just try and understand that instead of making it like this, which is fine, you know, it's art, you can do what you want. Okay, you have the arm, it's kind of but it's just a finger in kind of way. The arm, you're seeing this, they're kind of reaching out to you a little bit. But the hand is like so freaking crazy. Wait, my priority is the boobs, so why am I joining the arm? But you get the point. So we can move this up a little bit, and then we'll redraw this area, and then we'll draw it the right way, or the more natural way. Not so much the right way, but without the plumpiness. So we'll draw the rib cage first. It's gonna be somewhere here. We're seeing the rib from above. And then if this is where the boob's gonna begin, it's gonna do this. be a bit like that. Do you see that the weight is going down? Like you don't see any fat here. Unless you're like pushing the boobs up or she's raising it up herself. You won't see that. By the way, whenever I start to draw like the neck into the body, that's where I fuck up. Right. And the arrows suck. What the fuck? I'm sorry, sometimes I struggle with the arrows. It's so simple, but if you don't get it right, it kind of bothers you a little bit. The point is just make it sag a bit more. Again, I'm not denying this. It just means you should know how to do both. Depending on what you're trying to do. Block this, I think it's good for its own page. Yeah, we'll do some studies yet again. I don't want to draw girls right now, but when you have so many references, sometimes it's hard to do. Let's do some like gesture studies, focusing on some girls. This. Yeah, we're kind of zoomed out a bit. We could make it smaller. Let's make the brush smaller. Smaller. Good. It's a good size. Maybe darker. 4B. How about that? Too much. This. Yeah, it's very different when you're referencing someone's sketch. It can seem wrong, but not really, because you're kind of downloading their shorthands a little bit, I feel. And in my experiences, like there's ways or techniques, approaches where I draw something, but I kind of remember that I used to not draw that way. Like I know I picked it up somewhere. And you do pick it up by just... Yes, you can just look at something and that can help you, but it's not just that. You know, it's the drawing it yourself. Basically, you're trying to break down how they break things down. Quite fun. And I think it's even better if the image you're referencing is kind of a low resolution, just because you're not so attached to the details. Like you're forced to essentially see things. Oh my... sorry. It kind of goes down and then it curves out. Oh, there you go. Oh. Yeah. But the way the hand, the gestures, this part is really cool. Especially the way the hand was broken down like this. Like you can tell she's like interlocking, or even if it's not detailed, like you can tell the fingers are being like interlocked and being like stretched out. And look at that body. It's like T. I often hear this in TikTok. Oh, it's so T. Sometimes I can't even follow with the current thing anymore. I'm an unk now. So shout out to the unks and the unkuses. Getting old, guys. Getting old. And by the way, it's not always like the old folk, or it's not so much an age thing. Like you're just out of the loop. Even if you're like a Gen Alpha, I think an alpha. If you're not in the loop, because there's so much content out there, like it's impossible to be able to catch up. Oh, I like the way I did it here. Just impossible to catch up. Even drawing the face is kind of hard for me. I draw the hair first, the face. I like how they're so soft with it though. And then it kind of, just like a cheek, the cheek goes out a bit, dips, and becomes the chin. And we'll erase this part over here and then boom. Simplify the eyes, kind of like that. Eye. Then the nose is like a dot. The mouth's gonna be head. Oh, by the way, I'm referencing this. Even if it's blurry, it's still usable. And I think it can even work to your benefit because it kind of helps you to see or focus more on the major stuff. Because the more you zoom in, you're like, it kind of hurts your eyes a bit. Yes, you can study with photos of actual people, but it's not bad to study. Like, you have to learn, if there's an image in front of you, do you know how to break it down? If something about it is attractive to you and you want to sort of replicate it or just study it, you should be able to do that. Because sometimes I get comments like, oh, it's really just about the whole AI thing. For example, if you have like an AI reference, like I'm not gonna vomit when I see one, you know, like if I like the colors, I don't go into like debates about like I don't have an internal debate about the morality of like, it doesn't have to be that deep. For example, the excuse may be, oh, why can't you find a different reference, like a real reference, quote unquote, real reference? Well, when you're online and you find a photo, say on your feed, and even if that's AI, it's not like you can find an image that's exactly like that thing. Like you want to be able to capture that thing before that thing disappears. That's why we have a habit of like downloading images or videos or bookmarking things because we want to keep like a record. So sometimes there's just something unique about this specific thing and you want to capture that. You don't have to like, it doesn't mean you approve of like AI or you want to disappear artists. It doesn't mean you stop doing art. I mean, you're still practicing, right? I just get really, I'm dumbfounded by those types of comments. So interesting and not in a good way. Like, really? Like, you should be able to learn from your enemies, even if the person you're seeing, even if they're bad or you don't like them or you just disagree with them, if they have a nugget of wisdom, you don't throw away that nugget of wisdom. Learn from anybody or anything. Don't live in this like, I think it's kind of, it's like a very pure kind of mindset. Like what you touch has to be untouched, which is, you know, I think that's your life. But when you say those things or comments, I'm like, oh, what the fuck. Anyway, for the chest, what's so cool is some of these sketches, they have like clothing, and which is interesting because you don't always see the person in like, nude or naked. They're wearing clothes, so often something we fail at, especially for people who focus too much on figure drawing. Like, yes, it's important to know anatomy, but how does the figure look like? What does the figure look like when it's in clothes or when they're in clothes? That's most of your images are going to be, well, depending on the kind of work you do, but I think even in the most sensitive of themes, there's going to be a phase or some parts of your work where your characters are going to have some clothing. So how do you demonstrate that? How do you suggest that? How do you draw that? How do you make a person look like a person even when they're wearing clothes? And clothes add to the story. It's not just like a it is decoration, yes, but it can help add to the story because it provides context. I am liking the pencil. And it being a bit dark, maybe 4B is not too much. So that. Just the silhouette, it kind of, the elbow kind of protrudes out a bit, curves in. Interesting. In the way that the hand is simplified really impresses me. Does that. Right? And then it does, like, to try this. See that? It didn't even draw the fingers, it just suggested like the silhouette. Very smart. Right? Sometimes I get comments also, not so much in the well, not just the AI, but let's say they'll mention something about the artist. Oh, like you can't trust this artist or whatever. And I'm like, I don't need to know the guy's personal story. No? Like, we're here to measure their art. Like, do I talk about who the person is behind the art? Art reviews? I don't. I just focus on the style. Like, sometimes I don't even know if they... Because sometimes their names are in like Japanese. Like, I can't even pronounce their name. I only know the username. Like, that's how far or detached I am from the artist. Like, I can observe things from a surface kind of view. Like, I don't have to go behind the scenes and like figure out their real life nuanced experience. It doesn't have to go that far. I like the way they simplify the hand, and that's it. It doesn't have to be like, oh, does that mean you support that? And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Not to make this episode like a bitching session. Get me? Like, damn. Like, learn to detach. Now, I know if I say that, it doesn't mean you will, because, people are different, so I'm not going to force that idea on you. I should at least say that that's just how I operate. So if you're wondering why am I not so like bothered by I'm just like it's just not that deep for me. I think I'm running out of space. I'm gonna hit L. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna hit Control to just drag this person down. Let me check my time. Oh, we're at 29 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're practically closing in. We're basically at 30. I'm gonna hide this so we can have more space. But I'm gonna drink some coffee first. I think I'm out of coffee. Got a couple of droplets left. By the way, the coffee I'm drinking, it's like an instant coffee thing. And it's like 100 plus calories. Like 120, 150. It can add up because I don't stop with one. So maybe that's why I'm struggling with I'm not fat, but I'm definitely skinny fat. Most of us are skinny fat, by the way. Like, you look kind of thin, the outside. But you have like a belly. That's me. And that's not just me, guys. That's you. Have to go. It's okay, it happens, but I think I have to be honest with myself as well. I'm not a good... I can't manage my weight as well. I'm not gonna lie and, gaslight myself and say, oh, I'm so freaking cool. And just control my urges and just, I'm very well managed when it comes to my, I do struggle with food. Because I just like... I mean, who doesn't like food, guys? Like, fuck. Does not like food. Okay, so how do they simplify the hand here? I'm very interested. Okay, so the palm goes like this. And then it like becomes like this a little bit. Oh. And again, watch how animators sketch or draw. They just know how to simplify figures quickly. And I think I mentioned this before, but that's why they prioritize like figure drawing classes and stuff like that. It helps them with, like even storyboard artists. There's a guy called Dan Milligan. I think he's a storyboard artist, but he's one of the artists that I kind of like. You can tell they do storyboards, or that's their main job, but they can like paint. They can like develop their storyboards if they wanted to. Looks good. I like that. I like their painterly style as well. Feels very energetic. Now, the hands can seem... They are kind of out of proportion, but I don't mind. There's something wrong here. And then it... Maybe the elbow is just too... Way better. Way better. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Oh, we forgot the face. So even if the hands are kind of like... I think the hand is a little too big. Control D. Also, this is something I've been getting comfortable at, is just using the tools. Like the liquify, the lasso fill, or lasso selection, or lasso fill as well. Like you don't have to do everything. Like learn to use your tools. The tools of your software, because it's there for a reason, for you to like use and abuse. Consent. And yeah. I feel like my lock or one of my knuckles or fingers. I mentioned in the earlier episode, in the previous episode, without the audio. Yeah, I have like back pain. I think I wasn't able to sleep properly past day or something. And my fucking god, it bothers me. I'm not... If it gets that bad, I usually drink like Advil. The only way like I can work. But I don't want to rely too much on like medicine like that. Meaning the slightest bit of pain, I'll take some Advil. Yeah, I don't want to develop that. But pendants, it's sparingly. It can add even more. Excuse me. Always trying to like finding like this line over here, like this profile line. It's always something that I struggle with, or I typically struggle with it. Like some people can do this very quickly, but for me it like takes me forever. Oh. Simple sketch. When you try to sketch that simple sketch of theirs yourself, you're like, oh fuck, it's kind of hard. That takes effort. Yeah, I'm struggling a lot with the profile. See? Oh my fucking god. It's like... Again. Okay, not too bad. Damn, it took so many tries just to do that, but you know. We're learning, we're learning. Let's simplify this. I feel like it's too many lines. That wraps around a little bit. Does that wraps around, goes around the neck. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. A shirt here. Go! We can add, maybe, you know what, we'll move, we can add something in this area. Maybe we'll try a different sketch. You know what, we'll stick to the same one. Something that can fit hit L, lasso, so let's select this area. Control, drag it down. Because this one does have some decent clothes, and you're kind of capturing the torso a bit, or the lower legs a little bit, or the pelvis area rather. Notice we're actually kind of zoomed out, so. Where does the neck begin? It starts maybe around here. Back of the ear as well. We're close to the ear, and then it does that. So now we're trying to capture the clothing a bit. Like how does the clothes do the clothes? Okay, I think let's just move this guy a little bit. Select this guy. Control, drag it down. L. Gotta give it some space. Finger. Oh. There's like a block here, like a square for the palm. How does the thumb? Oh, look at that. There. And there. Some shadow. Look at, oh. Oh my. Oh. Kinda sucks. Sorry. I think I'm right. Let me just. It's so close. They're about to touch. Control. Just to give that hand a bit of space. Like it's not correct. Look, it's a very simple way of, but do you see how it's gonna look different when you focus or incorporate clothing? Doing stuff like these, it's great. It's a part of your studies. It has to be a part of your studies, but clothing matters. I mean, even this one over here, look at how simple that is. But that bit of like fold suggestion is. Gaomon. So thirsty. And yeah, I got some wrist pain as well because I think either I've been overusing my hand or maybe there's like a little bit of gout. I don't know. By the way, it's worse somehow. Well, that's not true. It's just a different kind of pain where if it's in your wrist, like you can't even move. Like especially for an artist, right? You need your hands. And to me, it's like my fear. Like, how can I live? This is how I make my money. It's yes, money matters, but it's also like my life. Take away my hands, I'm like, I'm gonna start crying. I'm trying to be funny, but at the same time, it's kind of true. Like, I'm going to cry. You know, some people say like you want to have more than a craft, or you want to have a life outside of your work, but I don't feel. I mean, I get the idea of it, but I can't deny that to me, I don't really mind this. Like, this is it for me. Like, this. But I'm not as pressured to be on other people's timeline, only because, yeah, they can be ahead in a lot of ways, but I don't want to be doing what they're doing. I want to do this. I want to succeed in doing it. Make my own way. Interesting. They're adding like 2 lines to suggest clothing, that they're wearing some kind of clothing. Create that kind of see-through effect. So there's like a hand here, I guess. And how do you suggest like the folds? Goes here, right? Yeah, this is just who I am at this point. Like, never mind. Oh, but what if you're missing out? Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out. Like, I feel like I'm missing out if I'm not doing this. Maybe some of you can relate to that. It's just how it is. Like, people have different things that they find important. I think it's more about being honest with yourself. Like, what is it you actually want? It never got to me. I was never pressured to like do something else. Well, that's not true. But it didn't take me long to sort of stick to my own guns. I'll say that. A lot of it is like pain. I remember working this internship in university. Like, we had to. It's part of the curriculum. Sucks ass, but I remember working and I just saw like a glimpse of my future when I was in that office, and to me it just felt like such a prison. Is this it? Am I gonna be doing floor plans all day? It doesn't interest me. You know, reworking drawings, making adjustments. One says, oh, fix this, and you fix that, and you're like, you wait for approval. And that whole thing. Do it, guys. Now, you know, there's a price you pay regardless of the path you take. You're always gonna pay something. But for me, I don't mind paying this price. People say, oh, you have to sacrifice something that's so freaking like crazy, but I'm not really sacrificing that much. Now I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege. Like, if I were completely alone, meaning I don't have a family, or I do have a family but I have to support them, it's over. But you know, I have the privilege for in being like in a family where I'm not gonna starve, I'll say that. And the economy goes to shit, sure, gonna be hard, but it's not gonna be that hard because we're kind of together as a family, you know. We always act like a unit, which is a bit different from like the culture here in the US. Maybe in like immigrant communities, which I am, who's now a citizen, but I'm still in that category. The support is just not as normal, I guess. Maybe if you're like super rich, or I don't know, it's just not seen as like you get celebrated if you can do things alone. I mean, I get it, but point of suffering, I'd rather not. Not everything has to be done alone. But again, it's privilege. It's not like you can choose your family, you know. So I get some people don't have that. You know, you have like a bad background, or your family kind of just sucks ass. It's not like you have a choice, so I get it. Right? Let me just erase this part. Look at that. Here. Alright. Look at her. She's kind of like saying, referring to this drawing. See? Cool. Right? Yeah, oh, sorry. This is good practice, right? Do you see how this artist, I have no idea who they are, but again, guys, this is my beef, or not my beef, my not quirk. It's like a pet peeve. I think that's how you say it, a pet peeve. When you share your artwork, you want to make sure that you have like a tag at the very least. And I don't even, you can write your signature, but even a signature, guys, most of our signatures, it's a personal mark, sure, but it can't refer to you because someone else has to know who that person is, meaning they can actually read your handwriting. Or maybe it's not so much they can read, but they're just familiar with that specific signature. But to the rest of the world, people have no idea who that person is. You want to make sure you have, for example, look at this. They'll even add like a site, right? So it's for maybe a school, I don't know, school design. Like you can find something. And thankfully they also do it in English, because for some, I get it if you're Chinese or Japanese, Korean. If your market is just them or your own people, fine. But if you're trying to spread out, you gotta have some English words, right? In your tag, or at the very least, like your username on Twitter or X or on YouTube, Instagram. Because how are people gonna find your work? Because sometimes I see like stuff like these where it doesn't even have like a tag. Like, how will people know who made it? And it sucks because you want to see more of their work, but there's nothing to guide you. And by the way, reverse image search doesn't always work. So maybe in the future, if the AI is that advanced, as of today, it just sucks. Just a rule of thumb, make sure you, I mean, look at TB Choi online class. So simple, and when she writes, it's readable. You can have like a written thing, like text form, where you can just literally write it with your own handwriting. Just make sure it's like in print and clear, all capitals, so people can find you. For example, like this, it's a logo, I can tell, but how am I supposed to search this? Although I think I'm following this artist on Twitter or something. But I'm lucky that I'm following this person. How about if someone finds this, but they have no idea who the person is, and they try reverse image search, it doesn't work? How are you going to lead with this? Just add your tag. Beautiful drawings, beautiful feet. Kind of hot. I know she has her shoes off, wearing stirrup like leggings, I think, or socks. Her toes are out. You know what's sad? Where's the name? It doesn't exist, so you'll never know who made this. Just some friendly advice. So I think I think we need to move on to the next thing. So we technically have 3 pages already, and we're going into 1 hour. You know, I think this is fine. So what I'm gonna do now, like the same way I did in the last episode, I'm gonna add like some colors. So I'm done with the study. Maybe I'll work on other stuff in the following episodes. I think this is a good lengthy video. I'm gonna spend the remaining minutes just coloring this, adding like the background color just to help it, for the thumbnails. Kind of like this. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna put this in its own group. New layer, own group, layer. Oh fuck me! Turn this off. Turn this off. We'll go here. We'll make this the layer above it multiply. Let B. We'll use a basic round brush, and we'll do this. Do you see how simple that is? So right now it's very easy. We're not really like studying anymore, but we can chat a bit more, right? I can like turn off my thinking art brain and just focus on this. Okay, so what do you want to talk about? What do I want to mention? Oh, by the way, my channel grew a little bit, or some of my videos from my shorts, I think, YouTube shorts, got viral. Well, viral in that, well, not totally viral, but it got way more views than normal. So it did make my channel grow a bit, but not that much. But I'm happy because at least there's like growth. And I've seen channels where their videos have like so little views, kind of like mine, but they have so many subscribers because most of their views come from the shorts. And I think that's why people subscribe. They find and they focus more on the shorts, so they don't really care so much about like your main videos, which kind of sucks, but at least they have like supporters or people who, yeah, they just like the shorts. Damn, I really want some coffee, but I already drank one. I need to learn how to limit myself to just 1 cup. By the way, back in college, it wasn't like a normal thing, but I was able to, it's not good by the way, but I was able to drink about 20 sachets a day. It was like every day, but for like a week or for a couple of days, like that was like the max average. And to me, it was like freaking, it was too much. And I tried to do the whole no coffee for like a week, and I could not move as much. I was just like so tired. Cold turkey style, just no transition, just directly stop. It was hard, but I recovered, and I think I may have some kind of coffee addiction. It's not just the caffeine, I think it's the sugar as well. I've tried black coffee, without the cream or the sugar. Horrifying. Tastes like utter shit. I'm not saying I should ban sugar, but I should learn how to control it. It doesn't have to be like an either or thing. And that's something a lot of artists have to face, right? To think about your health as well. You're so focused in art that you forget that you can't do it as well if your health is like jeopardized for a week. And it does scare me because I see a lot of like health stuff, negative stuff on YouTube, not just YouTube but TikTok. And there's some things we can't control, like sicknesses and stuff like that, genetic stuff, and it's sad. And honestly, it may seem like cowardice, but I skip those videos. Sometimes I like it only because I feel some kind of way, but eventually if I see so much of it, I just skip the video because even though it's like heartwarming, it just hurts me, and it kind of reminds me of my own vulnerability, vulnerabilities. Fuck! Is that good? Oh, that's good. That's good! You know what? Let's try this. Fill it up even more. Oh, fuck up. Ooh. Bad. Not bad, guys. Let's erase this part. I don't need this. Let's keep it like clean. Oh. This is the TV choice study. This one, it's still a TV choice study, but we're trying to like apply it in our own kind of. We'll set this layer to multiply as well. And we'll start coloring. Then we drink some water. I'm so dehydrated. By the way, for those of you who do content, you do art, but you also do content, maybe you post on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you post. Well, especially those who do like videos, even if you like post time lapses and you don't necessarily do voiceovers, like if you're one of those, I'm interested as to how you break up your schedule. Because I've been watching a couple of even gamers. Like I watched this guy named Swole, SWOL, and sometimes I do like his like takes or his like tips and advice. He kind of does it randomly. It's not his main thing. He just does it on the side when someone asks him. He'll talk about like the gym and stuff like that, but also how he does content, and it's valuable information because how do you like? Because it's not like a typical thing, meaning there are set standards. Yes, there's like a system that you can somewhat follow, but it depends from person to person, and it's technically still like a creative thing. So it's so rules are kind of more fluid in this space. In content, making art. For me, I know I want to do art every day because when I don't do it, I feel like I'm atrophying, and it's not the life I want to live where I just do art once in a while or like twice a week or three times a week. I'm not gonna grow that way. But sometimes because I need to edit the videos, sometimes it takes the whole day, and it just frustrates me when I don't get to draw. And sometimes I'm still late even when I spend the whole day editing, fixing up my audio, my videos, right? Just cleaning things up. I'm still like it still gets postponed, or it doesn't end up finished. So now I have to spend like an extra day not drawing. I really hate that. I think it's more about trial and error. I have to eventually find a way through trial, through errors. I need to keep fine-tuning my process until I find something that works. But as I'm finding that process, as I'm making those mistakes, it is quite a struggle. And because I know content is important, especially if your art is attached to like your money. If you're just doing it as a hobby, fine. But in this day and age, you want to maximize everything because that's just the world we live in, right? If you love something, have a hobby, you can't help but not try to monetize that a bit, even if it's like a side hustle. Having to do it all, it's tricky, but yeah, that's just something that I'm struggling with at the moment, and I'm still trying to figure out like. But I have been getting better. Getting better, and oftentimes I don't even know the specifics. It's just because I keep moving forward. Even if the process, the way I do it, even if I'm late in certain aspects, or if I'm kind of messy, for as long as I'm keeping that momentum, like I'm not stopping, like even though I'm swerving here and there, my energy is just forward. I am making progress. So much as I want like a clean, structured thing, make my life easier, it's not like in practice, it's gonna be messy. But you can still make progress if you just keep pushing forward. Right, the messiness of it. Advice. But I'll hit this. So we're done with this guy. We're done with this guy. Last one. Oh, we're at 1 hour, so perfect. We'll set this layer to multiply. We'll start with this one. How about this? Check. This is the one with the low resolution image. By the way, if you know the artist, you tell me. So I do reference a lot of artists when I do these studies. If you can see or if you know who that artist is, I do recommend you mention it so we can like do an art review. And I do like the art review series that I do only because, well, not only, but one of the reasons is I have like a record. Even if I forget who the artist is, you can always go back to my playlist, to that series, and I can find like rediscover artists again. And I have like, because I often link the links of their work, so I have like a nice library of artists to like check out and refer to. It's really more about me, what benefits me, but it does hope it does benefit others as well, I think. Based on the comments. Let's erase this. Okay, we'll do the we'll do the neck first. Hopefully this has audio. If I find out that this doesn't have audio, I'm going to cry. Imagine that. All this knowledge, but it's just for me, or I'm the only one who knows. Right? That would be so sad. That's cool. That's a cool study. That's a cool study. And the way they break down the hands, so cool, right? And eventually, as we do more of these, it's gonna naturally just come in, and it's gonna nest in your like subconscious mind. And once you start doing stuff from imagination, I think it's gonna show. It can't be like a one-time. It can't be like a one-time thing. I think it's gonna be. It's repetition. Like the more you study stuff like these, it's gonna ingrain itself even more. But if you just do it once in a while or rarely, it's not gonna register in the back of your mind, you know. And first, oops, whoopsie daisy. Oh. Sorry, I'm hungry. Well, I did eat some noodles earlier. Nongshim, the spicy one, the one with the red packaging. Usually I add like 2 eggs. I scramble it before. By the way, when you add eggs and you microwave it, don't leave it as it is. Make sure you scramble it a bit, because if you leave it as it is, it's gonna develop air bubbles. And when you bring it out of the microwave and you bring your fork out and you start, breaking up the noodles, it's gonna pop. I've had that happen. So just scramble the egg until the yolk kind of disperses. That's like a good sign. You don't have to scramble it all the way. Just make sure it's mostly like blended out. Check this one out, right? Like the pose. Very animated. I like it. and I can see the use of it, because in the future I'm gonna be doing a doujin NTR style, and it's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. You know, I want to do so many stuff in art, like comics, doujin, full illustrations, you know, prints, YouTube, you know, do like videos. Like I want to do so many things in art. And that's why I'm doing it, because I want to do it, even though it's not happening at the same time, or it's happening like kind of messily. It's sort of happening. Yeah, it's sort of happening. And again, even if the process is kind of messy, like I don't even know what I'm doing. That's not true. I kind of know what I'm doing, because I'm kind of in my own program. Like I don't even think anywhere. It's just like, this is what I do at this point. Sure, I'll make some adjustments here and there, because I need to reflect whether something is working or something's not working. But this whole like, I'm doing art, and question about it, in the general sense, you know, I'm kind of proud of myself for just taking this whole thing on. But even if it's messy, I know it'll figure itself out. Like, I will figure it out the more I push forward. I just have to keep moving forward, even if it's messy, disorganized, even if I'm kind of late in some things, even if I'm kind of behind schedule. I just have to find a way to keep moving forward, and it's gonna work itself out. It's not just like a faith thing, it's in practice. It's like backed up. So if you're having trouble with this concept, you just need to have enough. You don't even need that much, just enough of a track record that shows that this is real. Once you experience that, like this thing where you show up, you put in the work, and you gain something. Once you have just a little bit of that track record or experience, it's just gonna motivate you to want to do more. You can get more of that feeling. Is that good enough? I think it's up. I'm so hungry. We just like leftover food. Time is at 1:08. By the way, I'm glad that there's no like lag when I'm doing these. I turned everything off. There's no internet. Oh, there is internet, but I don't have any browser open. It's just Clip Studio Paint and the PureRef, the reference folder or file I'm using. Oh my god. And using this pencil, it's kind of thick. It's not too light. Kind of fits me a little bit. Because I'm not... If I need to make so many strokes, then obviously a lighter pencil would do. But for this kind of sketching approach, where I can be a bit more bold, I think the 4B one is cool. And you would only know what tools work for you if you practice, if you show up and actually do the thing. You will know what works, what doesn't work. So just experiment. Allow yourself to experiment. Break. I'm kidding. We're almost done, by the way. Are you guys tired? I am tired, but not really. Because I'm engaged. Not with my, my future wife. Engaged in the thing that's in front of me, and that's the art. If you have something to work on, it makes the other stuff a lot easier to bear. So basically be busy. That's the advice. I would prefer to be a workaholic. If I needed to have an addiction, I would rather have an addiction to my like craft, this path, this creative pursuit. I would rather have a workaholism attached to it than say any other thing. If I had to choose, right? If I had to choose, I would do this. I want this. Arms are last. Sorry. Oh, excuse me, Ma. Apologies. By the way, I saw my audience and apparently it jumped. It used to be like 20% female and now it's close to 40. I think in the last few days or weeks kind of jumped. So I don't know. I'm guessing the yaoi stuff is because I tackle lots of subjects here, not just like anime girls. It's boys as well, twinks, buds, yaois, even furries to an extent, like animal art, dogs, dinosaurs even. Thought there was like a bug in my lap or in my thigh. That. I'm proud. I'm proud. Are you proud? I ended the last episode with a concept, and I got that concept from a TikTok video. And the idea is this. It's actually two ideas. You want to control what you can control, and the two things you can control: your attitude and your effort. I would add another thing to that, and that's time. So if you're kind of overwhelmed with this whole thing, with life in general, with your craft, with your art, I think it's important to focus on these three things. Even if everything else is messy, it's organized, frustrating. If you just do these three things, focus on these three things, control these three things, I think it's gonna make it easier. In that, if you do these three things, ignoring everything else will be easy because you can say, oh well, attitude-wise, I'm locked in, I don't really mind. Time-wise, I put in the time, it's the best I could do. This is the only time I have, and I gave my time to this craft of mine. Number three, I also gave it all my effort, so I don't have any guilt as to what will come after. What comes after, comes after. I just know I've done my part. You're gonna feel this way if you do control these things. Having a good attitude, meaning you're not so... because things happen, right? Whether from the outside, external world, or from your internal thoughts. These things fluctuate, but choosing your reaction to those, that's something you can control. That's something you can cultivate, and you can sort of guide towards some kind of direction. So having a somewhat positive attitude, or sometimes positive is a strong word, just not having a downer negative attitude will help you. Let's say you make a mistake, you don't have to beat yourself up. You just move on to the next thing, because you know that the more mistakes you make, eventually you're closer to reaching some kind of breaking point in terms of progress. So it's only a matter of time. I talked about this idea of quantity versus quality, or how quantity eventually will lead to quality. So even if you don't have the quality you want right now in your work, if you put in the volume of work, if you put in enough repetitions, quality will catch up to your... If you have this mindset in terms of this attitude, yeah, sure, I kind of have shitty drawings right now, but only a matter of time. I'm way closer now than I am, or than I was yesterday, right? Because I actually did something. So that's a good attitude. Time. Some of us have lots of time, some of us have less time, but if you can say in the end of the day that given your small amount, given the time you have, whether big or small, whether in a long session or whether in broken up sessions, if you spent your time doing art in those sessions, in those time slots, or that you've made available for yourself, and you chose to like spend time doing the thing, your craft, then you don't really have guilt, because you've paid your dues. You've paid your dues. Spent like 1 hour doing this. For example, this video, I spent like 1 hour, roughly 1 hour, close to 1 hour, doing this thing. So I'm done with this episode. I'm not gonna cry, or it's not gonna bother me anymore as much. Like I can let go and move on to the next thing because I know I spent the time. Right? I'm guilt free. Whatever comes after, whatever, if it gets low views, high views, I don't really care too much because I've done the thing. I've done my part. I'm gonna let it go. I can move on to the next thing. I can have my peace. Also, along with time, you want to have effort. In this video, did you see me try? I think so. I think I can judge myself enough to say that I think I did try to study a bit. I could have studied more for like 4 hours, 5 hours, but let's be realistic. I have to do a lot of things in the channel, outside of the channel. You can see the effort. Right? Just make sure a good example of this is, let's say you're drawing or painting. Are you constantly on your phone as you're drawing or painting? It makes sense if you're using reference and your reference is in your phone or in your tablet. But if you're constantly going back and forth, to me, that's not putting in the effort. You're not really like locked in and focused in your crafts. Sure, you've spent like 2 hours, I don't know, drawing, but it wasn't a full 2 hours. Like you were just going back and forth, wasting time here and there. Not really like, for example, if you make a mistake, you immediately move on to the next thing, and you don't try to solve something. You don't try to break things down. You just sort of look at the reference all day, right? Which can happen. I've done it plenty of times. You can make sure, if you can understand and know that you genuinely did try in those set of minutes, set of hours that you've allotted for yourself, you're gonna feel very good about yourself. Even if the results are kind of sucky, knowing that you're the kind of person who has a good attitude, who puts in their time, who puts in the effort in that time, knowing that you've done that, it compensates for everything else. That's the bigger win that you gain. It just also it's a bigger win because it's changing who you're becoming. Like that's a bigger win. It's not just the output you have today, it's who you chose to become today. Because if you have the good attitude or the non-negative attitude, or we'll just say the positive, constructive attitude, the supportive attitude, alongside if you have that alongside the the whole putting in the time and the effort, that's changing you as a person. You're becoming a new person every day by choosing to be, or by choosing to do these things. To me, that's a bigger win. And because you're becoming that person, the things you want, the dream, the skills, they come closer to you because you are the person who's closer to the thing. Like if you're Mr. Lazy, like you don't spend time on it, you don't put effort on it, you're kind of Mr. or Mrs. or Miss Negative, or you're like a Debbie Downer, Mr. Depressed all the time, then it's not going to come to you. Just make sure you have these three things in control. Make sure you have your attitude in check. Take control of it. Take control of your time, and take control of effort. Just put in the effort, the time, and a good attitude. I'm going to end the episode there. Hopefully it helps in some way. Yeah, I'll see you in the... Hopefully the audio is actually here, because if it's not, I'm going to cry.